Hello, how you doing out there? I'm just going to give a little example here of what I'm doing. I'm making a tarp out of waxed canvas, and it's actually it's a cape. It's a cosplay cape. So if you show them it's got a hood on it
Right here.
that I can fold up, and I can actually use this as a tarp if I'm out. And it's going to be 100% waterproof. And if you notice, this actually is backed. It's an old curtain that we had that I'm repurposing, and I sewed it together and I stuck it together, and then I'm waxing it. And what I've got in here is equal part. Well, I wouldn't say equal parts. It's a pound of paraffin wax, 2 ounces of paint thinner, and 2 ounces of boiled linseed oil. And you just rub it on. Let it drip out a little bit because you need it sort of thick, or else you get spots in it that aren't saturated all the way. Then you just take your hair dryer. This is really satisfying.
I'm gonna get a good shot at this.
In places where it's too wet, just shake it. You can move the wax around a little bit in places. So as you can see, there's a nice texture, and when you're done with it, I mean, it's gonna texture up. What's a good thing about this, and it's wax, you can put the whole thing in a pillow case that you're not gonna use anymore, and heat the whole thing up in the dryer. Once you heat it up, all these spots go away. Once it gets hot, it'll go away. I mean, it looks cool, but we can heat them up and those spots will go away. So one thing when I was researching about this, and people were waxing jackets, and they were waxing bed sheets and all kinds of stuff, that it bleeds through the other side. But this doesn't bleed through because it's lined on the outside, on the back side of it. So it's one thing people need to think about, is if this is a really good idea of using, you can go to Goodwill and get old curtains probably pretty cheap to make tarps out of and just sew them together for bushcraft or whatever, or cosplay stuff. But another thing that I was thinking of that I never heard anybody mention is, I think we just turned this into a giant candle. And I don't know how flammable it's actually going to be, because we just soaked it down in wax and paint thinner and linseed oil. So it doesn't have a finished edge yet. So I'm gonna cut it off and take it outside and try to burn it and see how bad it is. Because I see people making tarps out of them and using them for like camping tarps, and that could be dangerous. But once I get this finished, I'll show you what it looks like, and then whether I get a positive or negative reaction out of burning it, I'll make another video. Thanks a lot.